Good morning, everybody. We are back again for another overview of all the markets and the trades that we've got open. Today is the 14th of December and it is 11:58 in the AM, my local time. Had a bit of a rush morning this morning as what my alternator went on my car, so I had to get towed and do a lot of messing around, so it was a bit of a late one today. But it doesn't really matter. And also, obviously, I'll touch on, obviously, within 11 days, it's Christmas Day. So, with the holidays coming up, you know, obviously the volume really dies down in the markets until the new year. So, I mean, most people will probably finish trading at the end of this week, I would imagine, come Friday. And then just enjoy the holidays and then come back fresh second week of January. Until the volume picks up again in the markets. First one, as usual, is EURGBP, so we'll just go over everything. And obviously, as you can see here, the market is just moving sideways. There's no movement. So what date here? So even going back to the end of November, we're in this range of 80 pips. So in the space of a few weeks, his price has pretty much done nothing on EURGBP, and I can't see what's going to boost that one way or the other in the current near future, especially before Christmas. As I was saying, buying here at this demand zone might be a good shout, but I mean, it's the theme this week on this video is probably going to be obviously not to take any more trades until the new year now, but what we can look out for once some volume does start kicking back into the markets. So yeah, that's probably going to be the thing. I'm not sure whether I'm going to do a video this next week or not. I might just take a couple of weeks off and enjoy the holiday break and then come back fresh for the new year, which I might do. Then again, I might do another video just in case there's been any movement, surprisingly. There was a bit of movement in the pairs that were holding yesterday, which we'll go over later in the video. But yeah, I'll just adjust accordingly and make a video whether or not whether I think it's worth doing or not. So yeah, so let's get to it. It's EURGBP, as I've just said. There's been 80 pip range here since the end of November, so that's pretty much rubbish. You know, there's no two ways about it. Look at that movement. What you're going to trade there? I mean, you can buy, but you just really going to be waiting a long time now with not much movement. So unless you're going to move down to the 5-minute time frames and scalp the top and bottoms of these ranges, there's nothing for us to take on this pair at the moment. So let's move on from this one and go over to GBPJPY. A little bit more movement on this one. I think last week we were on this candle here, the 6th of December. It's around about here. We've seen some movement up into this little supply zone. As you can see, candle closed inside it, and then we got a bearish candle yesterday. So as I was saying, we're in this tight range last week. You could buy from the sell from this supply zone and buy from the demand. Still looking overall bearish. I mean, we are in a bullish trend. We are overall bullish. I mean, as you can see, going back from 2020, we've made all our way up. Is this going to be the top? Who knows? Or we could continue. If we went on to the weekly time frame, you know, there's still a lot of higher prices that we can move into. We're still quite low down, and if you took an average price from when we started collecting this data back in the 70s, we're still way low. So, you know, if we can get buys on and we can continue to hold, then, you know, there's a lot of room for price to move up into, as you can see. If we, let's say we collected an average price, I mean, look at that, back in 75 it was 700 yen per pound, and today we sit at 167. So I'd even say at an average price we're looking at over 200. So, you know, if we can still catch another buy, then it'd be a good trade to hold. So yeah, as I always say, I was looking to buy from these demand zones all the time as soon as they touch back down. That's why I always said buy from this demand zone here. That would have been a fantastic buy if you had if you had a pending order trade. But yeah, again, with the theme of low volume in the Christmas holidays, there's not much I'm going to take on this now. I'm not going to take anything until the new year because we've got trades open, and I'll just manage them accordingly. Okie doke, so with that pair covered, we'll move over to EURAUD. I mean, last week I did say you could sell from this little supply zone that we were in. It did peak back out of it, so whether you had a hard stop loss set or you were just watching it and virtually you closed it yourself, you could have gained some pips. But I mean, how much has it moved down? 190 pips. It's not a bad shout. If you were watching the video at the time, you could have made some pips on that, but as I was saying, it wasn't something I was going to take at the time. So let me send this to the back. So yeah, as again, the theme's going to run through all the pairs now. I'm not going to take any trades really until the new year kicks in. We're going to manage existing trades that are currently open, but the same with the EURAUD. I would ideally like to get a buy on. I mean, that is a pretty much sideways movement for a long amount of time. So yeah, I think the good thing with this pair is just to identify the ranges and then sell at the top and buy at the bottom, like just a standard type of supply and demand trading that we do. But yeah, I'm not going to take anything now until the new year on EURAUD. So with that pair covered, we'll move over to GBPUSD, which is one of the trades that we're holding and managing currently. Yesterday was a good day for it. We had a big push up again. We've actually made a new higher high now, and it's been a nice sharp rise up in this trend. Currently we are 1,595 pips in profit. We have peaked slightly above that. So as I've been saying, we've got the Christmas holidays coming up next week, and we need to manage our trades. So depending on what you want to do, I mean, you could close the trades if you want and take the profits, spend it at Christmas, do what you want with it over the holidays and the new year, or you could just move your stop loss into profits like so under the last swing low there, or you could do it at this point here that was a turning point from resistance that's probably turned into support now. You could pop it under there. I mean, even that's still well in profit. You could move your stop loss way up high, up under this swing low here or this one, close your position, some of your positions, take the money out of the trade and just leave a small runner going just in case it is the start of a long trend, and then you can just leave that as to close either at the stop loss or, you know, way up high here at the 1.42 area. But yeah, as of the moment, it's still moving in a textbook trend. Higher highs, higher lows, all the way up. Yeah, we broke that supply zone now, so I'd say this one is the next target here at 1.265. But again, move your stop loss way into profit. Either close most of your position and leave a little runner going for over the Christmas period, or close them all, enjoy the profits and look to buy in on the next pullback. But yeah, I will be moving my stop loss into profits a little bit further, and I will close a little bit of my position and bank those and bank the money from that. Okie doke, so we'll re-go over that next week or possibly in the new year, depending whether I do a video or not next week. So with that pair covered, we'll move to EURUSD, which, as I've been saying, is pretty much the same as GBPUSD. The trend's moving quite well. I haven't had a chance to buy anywhere on a pullback yet. There's been, you know, very little in the terms of pullbacks to demand zones where we could buy in from. It seems to just keep popping up each time now and breaking little supply zones on the way up. Maybe that's something we can catch on in the new year. But if you did take that one originally from around the bottom, if you do trade that pair a lot, then yeah, as the same as GBPUSD, move your stop loss into profits and just keep holding for now, because it does look possible that the dollar might continue moving bearish, which we'll go over soon. Yeah, so with that pair covered, we'll move over to gold. which is the other pair that we're still holding. Currently we are 1,804 pips in profit. So another good catch for us. Previously, a couple of weeks ago, I was marked out these zones to buy back in, but obviously price didn't want to move further back down to this area, so it does look to me like we're going to continue on a medium to long term trend at least with gold, because as I say, there is some imbalances here to be filled, and this pullback here would have been a perfect place to fill the imbalances, but obviously they've had other ideas. A lot of volume has come into the market and prices kept pushing up bullish, and like GU and EU, we're getting textbook trend formations, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, and we've just broken that little supply zone as well. So same as GU, move your stop loss into profits, take some of the position off if you want, take the money out the trade, let the runner run over Christmas into the new year, and then we can reassess back in the new year when we come back to it. Okie doke, so with that pair covered, we'll just move over to the dollar. And as you can see, we are really moving south now. We've just touched this daily demand zone here. We had a big drop off yesterday. Whether this demand zone holds or not is yet to be seen. I'd like it to continue, obviously, for our trades, because it gives us more profit. But I have been calling for it to break under 100 and come down to these zones here. But yeah, I don't think much will happen now until the new year, and then obviously at the beginning of January we've got another NFP. Yeah, so it's looking good for our trade so far, and yeah, long may the bearish dollar continue. But you know, we can't rule out the fact that it will rebounce and continue moving bullish, because as I say, on the weekly we are still way above the moving average, and we are technically, you know, still in a bullish trend. I mean, if you wanted to go on structure, I mean, until this structure has been broken and we started moving low around here, then the weekly turns to bearish. That's when that's when our trades will really be in some serious profit and trends will start moving in a big direction. But yeah, we'll have to see, because on the weekly it's still bullish. You could still argue it's still bullish, even though we've broken trend. We're still trading above the moving average. That could just be a higher high, and this just could be a higher low. What it makes here, it could even stop round the 100 area and meet the moving average and then continue moving up. So we'll just have to keep watch out for that, just in case we need to close our GU and gold trades for a maximum amount of profit and return. Okie doke, so with that pair covered, we'll have a quick look at Bitcoin. It's still moving north, which is a nice sign. Higher high there, higher low, higher high. Is that higher high, or it's equal high? Equal high to that wick from that candle when we had an instant reversal candle after that big bearish push. But it's looking good so far. Would have been great if we'd have bought around this area, but we didn't. But it's not a big problem. We can always jump on the buys later on. We're still quite low in price compared to the all-time highs. So, but yeah, it's nice to see some bullish candles. We'll have to see how that turns out, hopefully in the new year, and then into 2023, if economies start picking back up again and the dollar comes to some reasonable price levels, then we might see some further movement north in Bitcoin. So yeah, there's not really much to go on, obviously, with the holidays coming up, everybody. So yeah, it's a bit of a short one. As I say, we're just managing the trades that we've got open now. Coming to close to the end of the year, I'm going to be, as I say, moving my stop loss moving stop loss up into profits a bit further, and I will close off some of my positions, and I'll leave a small runner running on the trades that we've got open on GBPUSD and gold. and then we'll come back into the new year refreshed and ready to go for another year of trading. And let's hope we have a good year next year, because this year's been a bit rubbish. If this is my last video, I hope everybody has a good Christmas and holiday break. And yeah, I will see you again in the new year. Cheers everyone, take care.